So my main concern is software development, and security is just one of the aspects that I deal with. Now, in the development community, security tends to come as an afterthought, and I try not to do that in my professional practice. And in order to help change that mindset, yes, can you hear me now? I was saying that in order to change the mindset which considers security as an afterthought, thank you. I've set up a non-profit organization which runs courses for developers, where we try to raise awareness on security and where we try to improve developers' skill sets on the security front. Now, thank you very much for coming so numerously. I'm in awe. Now, I'm not sure what you're expecting from this presentation, because it was actually announced as Code Secrets, and I don't know where that title came from. It didn't come from me. I'm actually going to talk about security architecture, and so if that is a disappointment for you, then I completely understand if you wish to leave, because in fact there is very little, no, I shouldn't say very little, there is no code in my presentation. Well, my line of attack in talking about security architecture is the following, really. I plan to present you with a series of platitudes, and that should all lull you to sleep. And then I'll catch you unawares, and I'll present you with some very surprising guidelines of where to place code and how to do it. But then, by then it will be too late, because it will be irrefutable. But having said that, if you are awake, please give me some feedback. Talk back to me. The room isn't very conducive for a discussion, because there is this light beaming at me, so I can't see. I can't see you terribly well. Sorry?
There is no one in the room.
There's no one in the room. It's not just there is not just a projection here. There is also a projection there. But yeah, I'm very aware that in this room there is some of the world's best expertise on this matter, and I'm very keen to get some feedback on and to increase my own understanding as well. So if you have questions or comments during the presentation, please interrupt, and afterwards I'd love to have more feedback too. So what I want to do is to demonstrate some of the thinking when you're building a system, how you balance security against some of the other concerns of the stakeholders, and how you deal with imperfect platforms. So I want to illustrate this thinking with an example. It's a project that I worked on in the last couple of years, and the topic is quite topical. The case study is quite topical. It's a system that tracks securities as debt collateral. Now, my apologies for the fact that the word security will be overloaded as a consequence in the talk, but I think it should be clear from the context which kind of security is meant. And if it isn't, please speak up and ask for clarifications. Yeah, the recent events in Wall Street, I think, have helped to put into sharp focus what the implications, what the potential security implications are of a breach of such a system. Now, it's obvious that the current crisis wasn't wasn't caused by a software failure, but still the impact should have become clear. Now, I'm going to limit myself in the discussion to what I'd like to call the data integrity. And by data integrity, I mean the integrity according to the business rules. So I'm not going to talk about all the kind of fancy stuff that usually gets discussed in Owasp meetings, like cross-site scripting or CSRF, etc. I'm just looking at the problem of making sure that the data in your database is actually consistent with the business rules. So one thing that springs to mind, and it's an example that I'll bring up several times in my talk, is a security that acts as a collateral for a debt, for a loan, needs to be rated. It needs to have a valid rating. Yeah? And so whenever you have the flag in your database ticked saying, yes, this is a collateral, then this valid rating needs to be there. So that's the kind of thing that I want to talk about. Everything else is out of scope, by the way. This is not untypical. I find at clients that this data integrity concern is often the thing that is foremost in their mind. Things like confidentiality and even availability tend to come lower down the list of priority. Not in all systems, but often that's the case. The set of measures that we are going to apply in order to ensure this data integrity, I'll refer to as the validation architecture. So it's fairly rare these days that you get to build a greenfield system, and this system is no different. It's a brownfield. It's an existing system, and the assignment was to do some maintenance on it. So what I'm going to be doing with you is to look at the system and identify flaws and think about how we can fix them. So it's a very, very simple system, actually. Conceptually, it's a very simple system. It just does the usual create, read, update, and delete on securities. It presents the user with forms that allow him or her to create a security. There is another form that allows the user to update a security. There is a form to specify search criteria. And then there is a page with search results, and that page then contains a link that allows you to view details of a security, to open the